back live again. I'm Ari with Carly and Bruce, and we're here to talk about everything how Databricks uses Databricks. And I love your outfit, the DBX Data Platform, which is your role. Why don't you tell everyone what you do here?
Yeah, so my name is Bruce Wong. I lead our data platform organization, which is very interesting. We're leading a data platform org at a data platform company.
It's very meta.
Yes, very quite meta. And so, that's actually been really the interesting intersection is we think about our internal function. How do we use data and AI across the entirety of our business? And so we work with everyone across engineering, across support, across finance, HR, you name the team, we've worked with them, and they all use Databricks. And so how do we configure and how do we build that function on top of Databricks? Now, what's interesting about that is we also work very, very closely with our product engineers and our product management to help define what that roadmap looks like. And so we're really, as a company, kind of leading and pioneering the way for what we think the future looks like for all companies to operate and stuff.
So you're pushing Databricks to its limit within Databricks.
Absolutely. And actually, a fun fact, Databricks, our workspace is a top 3 workspace by all measures, by compute, storage, and so forth. So we are effectively the largest customer of Databricks itself.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's where the dog food slang comes from, right? I had to learn what that meant when I joined. I was like, why is everyone here talking about dog food?
Oh, yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit? Why we?
Yeah, I mean, there's a saying in like the tech industry, and I think other places too. It's like, eat your own dog food or drink your own champagne.
Yeah.
Stuff. And so we actually call it log food as a means of that. And it's actually just, we want to try and use the product in as many ways as we possibly can, so that we can figure out what does that actually mean and what are the challenges that we have with that and how did that feed back into making the product significantly better, right? And we like to say if it works at our scale, it will most likely work with all of our customers as well.
Yeah, that to me is like one of the 2 best ways to develop your product is have your customers give you feedback, all the product advisory councils, which is great, and then have your own employees. So I fit in marketing, and we have love the marketing. We have non-technical, very technical people, product marketing, management, TMM, very technical, and we also have traditional marketing and events people. They shouldn't need to have to write Python code or SQL code. And so, like, for example, we have like AI BI Genie, AI BI dashboard on our own data. It could be in our salespeople, Salesforce, Marketo, Slack messages, and you could ask questions, how much revenue are we getting from this event versus that event? Which ebooks are getting the most views? And by us doing that, we get to see this doesn't quite make sense, or it'd be better to do this way or that way. And that feeds back to the data platform, how we all synthesize it together. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say, one of the things that we talk about is we really make our careers on joining data,
right?
To put it really simply, right? And it's like, can I join the marketing data with the product data? Can I join our customer insights about how customers are using the product with either for that marketing campaign or for the sales motion, right? Or even how do we think about that of the evolution of our product to support those things? And so like a lot of the things we've been looking at is like, okay, how what portion of our customers is starting to use AI as part of their day in and day out workflow? How does that inform AI BI's roadmap? How does that inform even I would actually say the entire product roadmap across the entire surface is really being transformed and enabled by AI, right? And then us as a data platform organization, it's like, great, we have all these amazing capabilities from the product. What does that actually mean for us to enable that and use that inside of Databricks to kind of live that journey and pioneer that path? So it's a really, really exciting time to be in the data platform space.
Yeah.
It's my team and myself, this is the job we wanted. We had, a lot of us could have gone almost anywhere inside of engineering, and we're like, no, we're right at the center. This is the thing we wanted to do. And it's really great to, work with so many amazing people in marketing, amazing people in sales, amazing people in engineering, and seeing all of that come to life, right? And so we get to see, I like to say, we get to see the early parts of the product. We get to see the good, bad, and the ugly, right? But we also get to see when we find something good and we figure out that recipe that works inside. We actually have a number of stories where, the product, we're worked ahead of the product. We're like, we think there's something here that we need to solve for us internally. And we actually have multiple stories of that. It worked for us internally. And then we worked with product managers and they're like, our customers said the same exact things as you guys did. What did you guys do to solve this? And we're like, oh, this is our strategy. Here's our docs. Here's our code.
Yeah.
And that's actually made its way into the product roadmap and into the product.
That's incredible.
Well, another example is we call it ARIA. It's like our AR, like our analyst, not the data science analyst, but like Gartner, Forrester, IDCs of the world, relation application where, there's RAG, there's fine tuning, there's traditional AI, BI, Genie, but then there's a situation where you want to finally curate specific answers. If an analyst firm asks, a question, are you ISO compliant, et cetera, how many points, you want it to be very curated and specific. And that was dog food, log food capabilities. And now, we see customers getting the benefit of how the product improved because of that.
Right.
And speaking of that, you've been busy and your team has been busy here at Summit, like a dozen speeches. I think you've given one about something about swimming in a lake house and stopping to guess costs.
I loved that title. What was it? Swimming in
our own lake house. Yeah. So that talk we gave on Tuesday. Is sort of a 10,000 foot view of how we use Databricks at Databricks, and also how we built and architected our Databricks instance to work across all the entire company. And I think that that's actually a unique thing for us is like, had we not existed as a data platform org, each group probably would have created their own lakehouse. And we would have had
silos.
We would have had silos. We would have had not one amazing lakehouse to join all the data together and collaborate together as a company. We would have had 11 different lakehouses. Right. And it was like, which lakehouse should I go for which thing? And we're like, no, we think that this is the right opinionated way to do this, is have one team and one way to do this, one way that we should practice data and AI at the company. Now, we have to understand all the different personas. Like, we have everyone from less technical users that we need to enable things like Genie and natural language processing and so forth. But then we also have extremely technical people at the company that we actually serve. Like, our support is some of the most technical support people that we've ever encountered. Our engineering core is super, super technical. Wow. And so how do you build a platform that can work for everyone, but they're very, very different use cases, right? And Databricks really allows us to actually do that. And we've actually done a lot of work with the product team around personas of our customers, but personas of our own company as well and stuff.
That's incredible. I know a lot of people watching either are on a data platform team, running one, or trying to start one. Yep. What do you see? What's the commonality between the best data platform teams?
Yeah. Well, first off, I'll say, I believe that I'm biased, but I believe the best data platform teams use Databricks. And I can say that having used the product I've been here about 3 years. And, when I first started, I was like, I have certain things I love about Databricks, and I have certain things like, that's a little bit of rough edges. But through that collaboration and that working with the different product teams, we really have a best-in-class data platform now. And getting to work with all the different surfaces, like there's so many things that Databricks we get out of the box for free. Mm-hmm. And it means that my team gets to focus on some much more interesting work.
Yeah.
A good example is like we were working on something with our security team and about the auditability of people using certain data. And we're like, well, this is great. Well, since we use Databricks, the audit logging comes for free. I didn't need to spend any engineering effort on building a whole audit logging framework, a logging standard, or any of that. We basically made the architectural decision, do as much as we possibly can on Databricks, and the auditing is taken care of for us.
Yeah.
But that's like
incredible.
one very tangible example, but there's so many examples of like, I don't want to worry about storage. I don't actually care. Like, I don't care about what hard drives our data is stored on, right? I don't actually care about which cloud provider storage
Right.
that we use, right? And so Databricks lets us like zoom out and really look at, from a first principled standpoint, what's the opportunity at hand? What's the problems that we're addressing? And we get to really focus on the value of those things. And instead of worrying about, oh, is the auto logging there? Oh, is the storage the correct thing or not? The product actually lets us have that leverage to focus on that value.
Yeah. I come from a security background, and I can tell you audit logging is usually one of the most painful things
Yes.
that you can do as a security org. And you get a lot of friction and pushback from people because you're building something that, inherently is going to be challenging. It's going to require a lot of overhead. It's going to require cutting people out of things they might think they want access to. And having that out of the box is like incredible.
Oh, it's table stakes.
Yeah.
And, from an engineering perspective, from a data platform practitioner perspective, we are very security minded. We partner with security. We partner with legal all the time. We know the importance of audit logging. And if we needed to, we'd absolutely do what's necessary for audit. But the fact that we are on Databricks means that we just don't have to, right? So it's not the most exciting work for a data platform engineer to build audit logging. But we don't have to now because we're building on top of Databricks as a very solid foundation for us.
So exciting.
Well, good. Well, we're getting the wrap-up signal. First of all, thank you for coming on. Honestly, a lot of people saying, how does Databricks use Databricks? I think
exciting.
why is great that we keep improving the product with ourselves and then with our customers and our partners. But yeah, wanted to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you very
Thank
much
you
for
so
having
much
me.
for
It
your
was great being
time.
here.
All right.
Awesome.